Hello world! Our topic today is Secure End-to-End Messaging Protocol. We will focus on the Signal Protocol family. My name is Xiao. I am going to start the presentation and I'll hand off to my team member Xiaorong and Yuxiang when we get to their sections. The agenda today is that we will start with a quick introduction to end-to-end protocols. Then we will present two variations of the Signal Protocol, which support one-to-one communications and group communications respectively. After that, we will make some comparisons by looking into complications arising from involving multiple endpoints and compromises that the group protocol has to make to resolve these conflicts. In 8 minutes or so, we will end the presentation with a short conclusion. So, end-to-end encryption. End-to-end encryption aims to secure communications between two endpoints without having to trust any nodes linking the sender and the receiver. For instance, the sender and receiver could be two users on WhatsApp, and the linking node could be a WhatsApp server. It is important to emphasize that traditional client-server architecture and client-side encryption are not considered end-to-end. That is because traditional client-server architecture only protects the message while it is in transit between clients and the server. The server actually uncovers the plain text prior to encrypting it and sending it to the intended recipient. Client-side encryption, on the other hand, is also not considered as end-to-end, as it is not used to share messages between peers. Instead, it is often used to encrypt content before having the content stored on a third-party storage device. So when I look at a new unfamiliar crypto protocol, I like to start by asking what security services is it that we're trying to provide here? Why is it that existing protocols cannot achieve these goals? The Signal Protocol aims to provide secure and verifiable communication with additional features such as asynchronous messaging, perfect forward secrecy, and self-healing. Apps such as WhatsApp and iMessages require asynchronous communication, as users might not be online at the same time. Textbook RSA requires Alice and Bob to be online at the same time for the handshake to take place, which is not really ideal for actual apps like WhatsApp and iMessages. Perfect forward secrecy means that even if the key of a particular message is leaked, an attacker who has the broken key cannot work backwards to uncover messages sent in the past. Again, the textbook RSA protocol doesn't really provide this feature. Self-healing refers to the requirement that an attacker cannot use a broken key and the key derivation function to calculate the next encryption key. A certain level of variation and unpredictability is introduced here. Cryptographic deniability refers to the concept that different encryption keys exist, so that the same ciphertext actually decrypts to two different plain text messages, depending on which decryption key is used. This is obviously useful when the sender of information is coerced to reveal a key. The person can choose to reveal the fake key and uncover the fake message, and nobody is going to actually discover that. All right, there are 4 major components to the Signal Protocol. These are listed on the slide. The first component is used to support public key verifications. XEDDSA is basically analogous to a hash function, and the version with a V in front is comparable to the verify function. Extended triple Diffie-Hellman provides forward secrecy and deniability. Double ratchet is used to reset keychains to provide future secrecy. The Sesame algorithm helps with session keys and enables asynchronous message passing. The next 2 slides explains how to piece together the building blocks of the Signal protocol, but I won't get into the nifty-gritty details of technicality. I'm having these slides here just to give you a better idea of what we do at this stage on our paper. In case you have any question about the communication steps, we're happy to explain that during the Q&A session. At this point, I'll hand off to my colleague to talk about how Signal Protocol supports secure group messaging.
The group Signal protocol allows users to send messages to each other safely in many-to-many communications. Traditional unencrypted messages apps typically use server-side fanout for group messages. A client wishing to send a message to a group of users transmits a single message, which is then distributed n-time to n different group members by the servers. As for the apps like WhatsApp, they will use the client-side fanout. A client would transmit a single message n-time to n different group members itself. Client-side fanout protocol can be accomplished using the sender keys, which is the component of the Signal messaging protocol. For the first time of sending message to a group, the sender key needs to be generated. The keys we need are a 32-byte chain key and a signature key pair. After that, sender is able to build sender key by combining the chain key and the generate public key from the signature key. The last step, the sender encrypts the sender key individually to each member using the pairwise messaging protocol. During the phase of sending message to the group, sender retrieves the message key from the chain key and updates the chain key. The sender encrypts the message using AES and signs the ciphertext using signature key. In the last step, sender transmits the single ciphertext message to the server and then distributes it to all group members. The forward secrecy can be achieved by clearing all the sender key when a group member leaves and start over from the beginning. If an attacker were to compromise one of the member sender key, the communication will stay encrypted and secure after a group member leaves or during a fixed period of time.
This section firstly will compare RSA with the Signal protocol. There are several limits to RSA. For example, RSA requires both two parties online at the same time to exchange keys. It means if one of a party is offline, the other side could not receive the message. But the Signal protocol could solve the problem of RSA. Next, I prefer to compare one-to-one Signal protocol with group Signal protocol. There is a case to point out the limit of one-to-one Signal protocol. For instance, a group includes 100 members. If one member wants to send a file to others, the data needs sending 99 times. In this situation, it consumes network bandwidth hugely. For some small companies, they may not afford such an expensive cost. However, the group Signal protocol could improve efficiency in using bandwidth, but we also should consider the security of a group Signal protocol. Signal handles group management a little differently. All group members are deemed administrators and can thus add a new group member by sending an encrypted group management message to other participants. So, the issue is how to ensure an actual member of the group sent the message. In summary, our presentation firstly introduced the definition of end-to-end protocols. Then we discussed two protocols including one-to-one and group Signal protocols by providing an analysis of them. Finally, we compared these protocols. The security issue is a broadly concerned topic, and we should focus on improving the security. Here is our reference list. And there are some questions